What's up, everybody? This is Travis Lockett, and in today's video, we're going to go over Web Vitals, aka your Lighthouse scores, and what Google's doing to give guidance on how to make quality websites. So we're here on my personal website, travislockett.com. We're going to be testing the Web Vitals, the speed, the accessibility, best practices, and the SEO optimization based on Lighthouse scores, which is, as you can see here, an open source automated tool for improving the quality of web pages. I have a couple of resources I'm going to share. One is the doc straight to Chrome, Google Chrome's Lighthouse docs, and two is this web dev article and docs where they really break down a lot of the core Web Vitals very eloquently. And as you can see here, it explains that Web Vitals is an initiative by Google to provide unified guidance for quality signals that are essential to delivering a great user experience on the web. Essential to delivering a great user experience on the web. So, I hope I didn't lose you yet. This video is not going to get super technical. It's going to make it so that any business owner, anybody who has a website can check their Web Vitals. And in videos in the future, we'll go into how to actually optimize those and more of those technical details. And if you're not a super technical person, that's okay. This video and those videos will just help you understand, if you're talking to somebody that's helping optimize your website, of how to ask the right questions, of understanding what they're doing. So again, I will share links to this web dev articles site and also the Chrome documents too if you want to dive into the technical details ahead of time. So you see we're here on travislockett.com. First tip is you're going to want to do all of this benchmarking and testing in an incognito window. So how you can open up an incognito window is you can do Command-Shift-N on your keyboard if you have a Mac. If you're on Google or if you're on a Windows PC, just Google how to do it on a Windows PC. You can also click the ellipsis up here in the right-hand corner and go to New Incognito Window. Then I'm going to type in my website, travislockett.com, and we're going to go ahead and go into what are called the dev tools. So if you hold down Command Option J, that will open up your dev tools. Alternatively, you can click the ellipsis, go to More Tools, and go to Developer Tools. Once you get to the Developer Tools, we're going to click these two arrows. I'm already on it, but you might by default end up on this Elements page. But if you are here, you can click these two arrows and go to Lighthouse. You notice here you have a few options. I like to test the performance, accessibility, best practices, and SEO. You can leave the navigation default here. And first, I'm going to test the desktop. Another tip too is make sure you stay on the viewport or the screen you're on while you're doing this test, or it can cause some issues. I have multiple monitors. If you have that, that's okay. You can work on the other monitors while it's doing the test. But as you can see here, we have optimized this website as much as we can. We got hundreds all across the board. That doesn't mean you can't improve things. So if I click performance, it's going to take me down to some diagnostics of the performance section where it has a few tips that I can still do to improve it even more. Like I can properly size some of these images that I have on here. But my accessibility is good. My best practices are great. And so is my SEO. And they even gave me some little fireworks here. I can do a new test by clicking here and do new report. And I want to test it on mobile as well. Typically, it's good practice to do 3 tests with the same scenario of what you're doing to get a good idea of what's going on. And it's going to vary based on server connections or conditions, on your network speed, and a multitude of other factors. But generally, when you're in production in an incognito window, as in like your website is deployed, you can go to yourwebsite.com, you're going to get a good indicator of what your users are experiencing. And again, Google has created this to give everybody guidance of how to give users a great experience. So if you want to be visible on Google, this is really important. The other thing that we're going to test besides mobile, and if I click back to the other report, I can see that this tested the desktop view, or like on a laptop or a tower computer. And this tested what it would look like if I was on a phone. So like if I click this little icon, I can see what it looks like on my website when you're on an iPhone 14 Pro Max. Besides just testing the light mode, my website has a dark mode in case you like to have a dark mode if you're working at night or whatever the case is. So we need to test this as well because this is a whole different website according to accessibility than my light mode. So we'll go ahead and run a test here. We'll test the desktop first. It will open it back up to the desktop view. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others. Again, just stay on the page. It looks like we got hundreds on the desktop view for dark mode as well. And then we can run the mobile view too. If you notice, I've done all these tests on what's called my root domain or like travislockett.com with no other backslashes. You're also going to want to test the other pages on your website. So I have this post section where it goes to /articles. Let's go ahead and test that as well. Once this is done, I'm going to test it on a development environment for my technical friends. Note that from my experience, these tests are actually going to perform better once you're deployed than when you go to your local environment. So we'll start that back up. And again, this took me to a non-incognito window, so I'm going to go back to my incognito window and go to my local host. Command Option J to go to the DevTools. I'm going to go to Lighthouse, choose my settings, analyze the load. So I do expect that maybe I'll get hundreds on this one, but I might see some things dip down. So I just wanted to share this for any developers that are watching this, because this can be really frustrating if you don't realize that sometimes you just need to deploy it and see how it's working in production because of your builds, depending on what framework you're using. And again, you can see with this one, it's taking a bit longer. This will happen from time to time, especially when you're doing a bunch of tests. Make sure you stay on the viewport. If I leave this screen, then that can cause significant issues with your testing. And while this is loading again, like why is this important? Well, this is important because this is literally the framework that Google has supported and is created as an initiative to understand what your users are experiencing. So as you can see here, look, we got hundreds across the board, but we got a 99 here. Again, a lot of times this is related to being on your local environment. So that wraps it up, everybody. That's how you can test your Lighthouse speeds on your deployed website on multiple pages or in multiple themes or modes on your website. And it also showed you how you can do it on your local host as well. This is crucial to A, giving your users a great experience, which B, results in your website having the ability for more people to find it on Google. Content's still the most important thing, but this gives you the best type of vehicle to deliver your content. I'll be going into more details about how to optimize your Web Vitals scores for your website or how to ask questions for someone else to optimize it for you in later videos. If you think this was helpful, please comment. If you have any questions, please comment, like the video, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.